Hi, Bruce Jones here, and welcome. And today we are going to learn how to make a book. So we are going to make a book that can be run on the Kindle platform, and we're going to make a picture book right here, show you how quick and easy it is to make a book. Just to give you a little demonstration of where we're going. So the book is going to look kind of like this. This is just a printout, and we're going to walk you through the steps to put together a picture book. This one is about a monthly meetup that gets together to talk about technology and video and all kinds of things. And we'll kind of show you how to put that together. So, all right, let us begin. So for this project, the subject matter that we're using was all shot by a couple people and was all hosted up on Flickr. So what I always encourage people to do is you can make a book pretty much out of anything. If I was walking home, I could take my camera, my iPhone, which is over there, and just take a series of pictures, and I can put together a book. By the time I get home, I'll have all the content I need. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of the things to think about. So what I did is I went on Flickr, and we collected a whole series of images, and they were different resolutions, and I just kind of downloaded them. So they were all shot by Steve Garfield and Jeff Cutler and Alicia Labeda. And I just collected everything together, and they're different kinds of resolutions. But for this book, we're going to just primarily think about two resolutions. So for a picture book that's going to go on Kindle or on a platform like an iPad, something like this, we don't need a very high resolution image. So I'm going to show you how I just downsized them to about 120 dots per inch. And we're also going to be looking at a lot of the photographs that were shot are horizontal, but we're primarily in a vertical format. So it's just something to think about as you are taking your content or taking your pictures. How are you going to use those pictures? And the Kindle platform is primarily a vertical format. We can also take the same content and produce. So here it is, how it comes in a Kindle. And the picture book things on Kindle now are just fantastic. The quality, as you can see, is amazing. But we also can make picture books like this. And this is an 8.5 by 11 picture book, done the same way. Resolution for these is 300 dots per inch. So I usually take my pictures and I will downsize them. Let me show you right now how I do it. And you can do this using Photoshop. You can use it doing, I'm using a sort of the consumer version of Photoshop called Photoshop Elements. You can also do this online. But any program that you can sort of bring it down. So what I'll do to prepare my artwork, I prepare everything sort of first, and then we're going to go in and create the book. So I'll just open up an image. So I'm just going to take any image in here. So that's actually is the image that's in right here on the title page of my book. And when images come out of the camera, so out of your regular or normal camera, are usually really big. They're 72 dots per inch, and they're 35 to 40 inches in size. So they're too big to work with. We want to bring them down to something that's much more reasonable. So all we have to do is open them up in Photoshop, and whether you're in Elements or Photoshop or whatever photo program you're using, there's going to be something called resize or image size. I'll just go to image size. You'll get a screen that's something like this, and you'll notice that this image, in reality, is 72 inches in size. It's huge, so it's just too big. So all we're going to do is just get it down to something we can work with. So I'm just going to change the size. So if I'm doing a book like that, I like to be just a little bit bigger than the page size I'm working with. So I'm going to make it 8 inches wide. And you'll notice the resolution, if you can see this on the screen, jumped to 648 pixels. I'm going to hit resample, make that 120 pixels. And now we have an image that's 8 inches wide, about 120 pixels, and is perfect for working on a Kindle book. So we just want something that's more reasonable to work with. We hit that, save it. And I usually, just to kind of keep sense out of all of it, I'll usually put 8 so I know how big it is, and 120 so I know my resolution. That way I can find it in my mass of images and do that and save it. So that's the first step. As you're making a picture book, just take whatever artwork you have with you. Took it with your phone, and the iPhone, the Android phones, the Samsung, any of the phones, the quality is fantastic and works great. If you're doing illustrations, We have some people here in the audience today who are doing illustration work. Just make sure you're working big enough and a higher resolution. Save that, and you're done. So I just go through all my images, and I'm making a book that is going to go on Kindle, so a kid's book, just sort of standard sizes. People ask, how big should a book be? Children's books are usually 32 pages. Create Space has a 24-page minimum, and Kindle, there's really no limit. But I always like doing things, do one action and replicate it to different places, repurpose it. So I'm going to do this book at 24 pictures long, so I can use it as a print book and as a Kindle book. If I was just doing a Kindle book, I could make a 12-page book. It doesn't really matter. There's no limit. But I'm going to make one that's 24, so it just makes it a little easier. So, all right. So that's it. We just went through. We saved all our pictures, downsized them, and I would do this action twice. I'd probably do one for 300 and one for 120, so I could do both books. Okay. So then my next step is I need to lay my book out in some program that can make a PDF. So all the print-on-demand book publishing that we have these days is done primarily using PDF. So if I'm using Create Space, which is the Amazon print-on-demand, that's a PDF. Going to Barnes & Noble, it's a PDF. Ingram, it's a PDF. We're going to go to Kindle, and we're going to be using this new app that it's been out about a year, but I only found out about it recently, called Kindle Create. And you'll see it. It's absolutely fantastic for making books, and it uses a PDF. It has revolutionized my making Kindle books from something that was a pain in the neck to something, you'll see. We're going to make it in about, quick. So the first thing I need to do is just lay my book out in some program that I can manipulate photographs in, and I'm using PowerPoint. So it's really anything that can make a PDF. I would just open a PowerPoint file. So normally when you open a PowerPoint file, if you do new presentation, it'll come out horizontal. We're just going to turn it vertical, because mostly this format is vertical. I wish the Kindle format is vertical, the Create Space format is vertical, so we're pretty much stuck with the vertical format. So I'll just go to File, Page Setup, and just change this to vertical right here. Just change it to vertical. And I might reset this to 8.5 by 11. I'm kind of working with about an 8 by 10 I found works well, but even 8.5 by 11 works. Well, here we can just see. This is an 8.5 by 11 book, okay? And you can see how nicely it fits into the Kindle app format on the iPad. It fits perfect. And if it doesn't, it just puts some black at the top and the bottom. So you can also turn them sideways and get double spread. So it's a very convenient format and size, and it also works really well if you're going to go into the Create Space. So I'll just make a vertical one, hit OK, and then start adding pages. Pages are added over here in new slides, so we just start adding them on. And then the other thing that I do, just to make it sort of easier, I'm going to go to, I've already sort of pre-laid this out so we can kind of keep the presentation moving, is I put a little grid on here. I go to the master parts of the slide, right here, master slides, just like you would on any slide presentation, and I'll put a box on here that just sort of helps. You'll see in a moment why. It just sort of helps me line things up. It tells me where to put stuff. So it just makes the process a little easier if you use a grid. So. And then I'll just start bringing in pictures. So the easiest way to do it is you go to Insert. I'm in PowerPoint. We can also use Google Slide. You don't even need to have any actual physical program on your computer. You can go into the cloud and use Google Slide to do this. I'm using PowerPoint. If you're on the high end, you'd use Adobe InDesign, would be the program of choice if you're doing many, many books. You can also use Apple Pages. But any one of them that can make a PDF file will work. So it doesn't, it's pretty broad. I'm just using Pages here, PowerPoint. Insert, photo from the file, the pictures that you assembled. And let's just go to, there's a desktop, and then just set up a folder. And I'll just bring in one of the pictures. We'll just grab this one. I don't know what it is. We'll just bring it. Oh, it's that same picture. I keep grabbing the same picture. Okay, so here it is. Here's the picture. And you can move it around. And I'm going to put 2 on this page just to show you kind of how it does it. And you can resize it, just grabbing the little corner elements. Oops. Like so. I can also crop. There's a cropping tool right here. And depending on what version of PowerPoint you're using, PowerPoint, it's in different places. But here, I can just crop this. Maybe we'll place it right up. Oops. Let's place him in the corner. We're just going to lay out 4 images here. Oops, let's get him down. Like so. There we go. So I'm using my grid. It just helps me line stuff up. Let's get it right to there. Go back to crop. Come on. There we go. Crop. Crop, crop, crop. Oh, there we go. Crop. And then when I'm all done with the book, I'll go into my master page and just take those out. So there we have a photo. All right, let's just bring in another one. I'll just bring in a couple here so you can see how easy it is. And we'll grab this one down here. Oh, all right, we have Bruce Garber. We're going to put him down here at the bottom. Like so. And again, we'll just crop it. So we can just kind of work our way through the book, putting together a collection of pictures, one picture after the other, and just kind of put them through. And I usually recommend put them, just sort of dump them all in so you can see them all. And then when you sort of have everything in, take your file, make a PDF, and print it out so you can kind of see them in physical, how they kind of look and how they kind of line up. So everything, you can kind of get a sense of the flow of your book. Parts that you want to have in your book. So every book pretty much has the same parts. So you have a cover. These are easy to put in. You have some kind of a title page, which somehow mimics the type treatment on the cover. On ours, because we're doing just a picture book, we just put the copyright date. Make sure you always have a copyright date. If it's photos, who took the picture, any little disclaimer, that kind of thing. You can see right here on it that we've sort of dropped those in. So that just becomes your title page. And then from that point on, you just sort of spread them as you want to, and depending on what you want to do. So this is Boston Media Makers. So you'll notice here on the side, actually, I can open this up a little bit so you can see it a little broader. I've just put in a selection of images, and I've also put between them a white line that just sort of adds. This white line is actually just located on top, and it kind of gives you a nice joint between the pictures, so the pictures aren't running into each other. And I've just sort of done a different variety. I've done one on top, 2 on the bottom. I'm just using the grid, half and half. It really depends on what you want to do. This group that we're in, we talk about a bunch of different things. This is a book about the Boston Media Makers group. So we talk about what you're doing, what do you want to help, how do you need some help, questions. People come with presentations and questions about media and video and internet and all kinds of stuff. So I just worked those questions into the book. And then just mix between pictures. Just look for a nice variety of shots, sometimes far away, sometimes close, sometimes full page pictures. The scattering of different things with the words. So you just build your book out however you want. It's just pretty easy. And I just went through 24 pages of dropping in pictures in PowerPoint. We always hold this in Doyle's. A great shout out to Doyle's for hosting the Boston Media Makers. So we dropped in a picture for them. and you just try to tell a story. You're trying to use the pictures to tell a story of what you're doing. If it's you're walking through a park, maybe you're telling that story. If you're trying to, here I'm trying to tell the story of what we do at this event. So you're just trying to build some kind of story out of your pictures. I usually build, when I'm making a book, I put the cover at the back of the book. So I keep everything in one file. I'm going to export the cover individually, but to keep the whole project sort of contained in one thing, I'll often put the cover at the back. So that's why the cover sits at the back of the book. So we have 25 pages, and we're basically ready to go. So you'd print it out, you look at it, you proof it, move the pictures around, you now have a picture book. 120 dots per inch is the resolution. I try to make my pictures a little bit bigger than the page, so I squeeze them down. It gives me some room for cropping. I try to have a nice variety of pictures. This book, I also did a little opening paragraph, a couple opening paragraphs, just to kind of tell the story, because it's a book about our event. So, and that's it. You're done. If you need to rearrange them, like say you're using, this is PowerPoint. One of the great advantages of PowerPoint is I can grab this page and shuffle the pages. If I want to change the order of the pages, it'll just switch things around. So we're done with that. That's the book. However long that took you. This one took me about a day, a day to put it together. A couple hours to process the photographs, and maybe 3 hours just dropping photos in and arranging them and stuff. So, all right, so we're done with that. So now what I want to do is I want to make, in fact, we're going to delete this page right here. Let's delete that page. Is we're going to save it. And we're going to move over and make the Kindle book. I'll show you, this is amazing that this used to be a real pain. This is not a pain anymore. So all we need to do is File, Print, and I'm going to make a PDF. So everybody, PDF has now been incorporated into pretty much every program that we use. Depending what program you're doing, the most common place to look for it is in the print menu. This is the print menu for PowerPoint. If it's an InDesign, it's on the export menu. It's wherever it is, you can find it. We make PDFs all the time. I'll usually just pick the pages I want here. So I'm just going to make this 24. And I want to scale to fit my paper. I'm going to hit PDF, Save PDF. Hit that. It's going to go into the folder. Save. Boom. PDF is done. So now we're ready to move to the next step. Okay. So let's close this. We don't need this anymore. And we're going to be using a little application from Amazon called Amazon Kindle Create. So Kindle is the ebook side of Amazon, and it has you can make a textbook, just regular text, just like a novel, that kind of book, but you can also load up picture books. And they had 3 sort of applications they've released over the last few years. They started with Comic Creator, then they went to Kindle Kid Creator, and then the Education Creator. So those are all applications that can read PDF files and make books out of them. Now they've released Kindle Create. So the easiest way to find it is go to Amazon, go to Google, type Kindle Create, Mac or PC, doesn't matter, it'll get you right to the page, download the app, and all we do is this is the app right here. So I'm going to open up the Kindle Create app. So it'll just load. This is how fast. If we had really good internet here, we would just zip it up and we could publish it right in the next few minutes. So there it is. And we just go existing projects or new projects. So we're just going to click new project. And you can do novels, essays. Those are text, regular Kindle books that you're familiar with. Or we click right here for travel books, textbooks, cookbooks, picture books. We do that. We go look for the file. And we're going to look for the PDF that we just did. Let's see where it went today. It must be in here because it says new. Oh, let me find it. If not, I'll grab one of the other ones. Okay, so here we go. Here's the PDF. It's importing it, processed it. There's the book. That fast. If it's a little bit bigger file, it may go a little quicker. But you'll notice now, this is the Kindle Create application. Every page of our book is now in here. Right? All beautiful. All looks really great. We can shuffle pages on the side. So they're all over here. We can move these around. And what's really cool about this new application is that they've now added in the table of contents feature. So that was something that in all the other Kindle, Kid Create, Comic Book Create, and the education one didn't have a table of contents feature. Now it's in here. And one of the reasons I added the words in here is I just wanted to show how easy it was to make a table of contents. So we would just kind of scroll down through our book. We find one with the words on it. What do you want? So we're going to click on that page. It's been selected. We hit right here, include table of contents. Just type table what the words are. So what do you want? Oops, it's hard to type sideways. Want to do. Okay, we move to the next table of contents item. So it'll put a little triangle. That tells you that's now in the table of contents. I'll come to the next one right here. So do you need some help? Click it. Type what's going to be in the table of contents. Do you need some help? And we'll do one more. And we'll do this one. Again, click it. It puts the little triangle right here. And we just type what's going to be the words in the table of contents. And remember, in Kindle, there are no page numbers, but you can move around by table of contents. So you can ask questions. Oh. Questions too. Okay. So let's save this just because we don't want to lose it. Save. And we'll call this Sunday. And what it does is it makes a file called this KC file, puts everything in the folder that's needed. And now we have the book. Basically, we've imported the book, we processed it, we added a table of contents, and let me show you what it's going to look like. They have added a preview feature. So it's save, preview, and publish. We're going to go to preview, and it brings up a picture on screen of the device, of a tablet or phone. And if you're doing the text one, it'll be a tablet, phone, and a Kindle. So it does 3. Here one does 2. And we can now pop through this and see our book and how it's going to look on the tablet. So there's a lot of different, and the thing about Kindle is there's a lot of different variety of tablets. They can be really big, they can be small. They've kind of picked one in the middle. So if it doesn't fit perfect, it just puts white or black at the top. Bottom. And you notice you can just go through here. So what I love about this is that you can see your book. If you need to go fix something, you're previewing your book, you can go back easily and just make some adjustments. We can look at it on a phone. So here is on the phone, and we can just sort of pop through it. So you can see how quickly you can create a book incredibly fast. And then what I like too is down at the bottom, we're looking at how it looks on a tab on your device. If I pick the other side, this is the table of contents. So you can check your table of contents. So if I just click here, boom, it goes right to that page. If you click here, it goes right to it. So you're seeing your table of contents, you're seeing that it works. One of the things that I really love about what they've done with it, and let me show you. So I'm just going to show you one in action. Oops. They've done a couple different things. Let's see, is it this one? That's the right one. So this is, so I have a new book that I released recently, which I talk about this, the how to publish my book, but I don't know how. I took the PDF file of this book, oops, and uploaded it through the Kindle Create. So I can flip through the pages just like this, like you would normally in any sort of picture book on Kindle, but I can also tap the screen. I don't know whether you can see that on the camera here. These are all little thumbnails of all the pages that scroll along the bottom. So I can get a quick view of everything that's in here and tap on it, and it goes to it. And then the table of contents that we just made, if I click up here, there's the table of contents. And I can just go right, it'll just go right to it. So it's a really fluid and very workable kind of a table of contents, which has been the feature that's been missing for a long time. So now it's here. So we love it. We think we're great. Everything's good. We save our file. And to publish the book, we hit publish. It will make the folder, and it's called a KFC, I think it's, let's just do this. And it's ready to publish, hit OK. And if you go back into your folders, you'll see a folder. Let's just open this folder. And it is this, oh, I know, I put it out here somewhere. I think it's called, okay, there's a file, you'll see it, there's a file that it's, I think it just didn't, let me just do Kindle. Oh yeah, it's in there. I just want to find the name of that file. KPF. So it's called a KPF file, and that's the file you upload to Kindle. So when you go to the Kindle, if you're in your account, so having a Kindle account is free. It's part of Amazon. You can use your Amazon password and email address. You just go through and add it like you would any other one, the title of the book, the author of the book, the description, the keywords, the category, and it says upload the file, and you just upload this KPF file, and that usually works. And then for the cover, what I will usually do is just export this last page. The cover will be a JPEG. So if we come down to the bottom, wherever my cover is here, you just export that last page as a JPEG, and then that's the cover file. And you're done. That's it. So you can publish your book. It's pretty cool, and and then when you're done with that, you can take that same file, replace the 120 dot per inch images with the 300 dot per inch images, and you can upload it onto CreateSpace with a couple little more things. But it's basically the same file, same thing, same pictures, just higher resolution, and you'll have to make your cover. But for making a quick, easy Kindle book, photo book, on really any topic, it's super easy. So hope that was cool. Any questions? You can check more about me at Bruce the Book Guy. I'm Bruce Jones. You can find out about me at brucethebookguy.com, or come over, even better, come over and join my Facebook group, How to Publish Your Book. Just search on that Facebook group, and we have over 3,300 people now, all making books, doing all kinds of things. A great place to ask questions. So hope that works. All right, see you the next time. Bye-bye.